You know, lads and ladies, it's not very often where a top streamer out there talks about some of your most popular esports organizations at length. If you guys know the show, we talk about, sometimes some 30-second clips, sometimes a couple of minutes. So when Dr. Disrespect talks for about 10 minutes about FaZe Clan and OpTic Gaming and 100 Thieves, of course, we're going to talk about it. I hope you all enjoy and got a cup of Joe in your hand, or maybe some Rogue, or maybe some water, because all of those are very important liquids. So take a sip and sit with me as Dr. Disrespect starts off by asking all of us, well, a few questions, amidst one of them being which one of these organizations are going to push things to the next level. He talks about OpTic and their podcast content, which they do amazingly well, and he leads into the question of those three, and yes, there are other options out there, but of those three, which one is close to pushing things to the next level?
OpTic? OpTic, huh? You guys like OpTic's a lot of OpTic in the chat. I wasn't expecting OpTic. I feel like when it comes to OpTic, it's what is it? Hex and his podcast, or his he's got like a couple different podcasts, no? But what else? What is the other content that OpTic is doing? 100 Thieves? I feel like it's interesting to kind of go back to OpTic. It's interesting to see that type of response. I think there's something about OpTic that like people are genuinely interested in seeing what kind of the culture of this history of this organization, right? And how it's being molded and brought back and whatnot. Anyways, but like, what are like the actual production segments for OpTic outside of the podcast? See, it's hard to like have a conversation with you guys when I'm on 30-second delay, or you guys are 30-second delayed. Jesus, it's like I'm talking to myself in a room all by myself. It's kind of interesting because, like, to me, now here's my perspective. To me, it kind of feels like each one of them are I don't know, I wouldn't say doing the same thing or approaching it the same type of way, but it's interesting how some thrive on certain platforms, from whether it's social media, YouTube, it's and how they're perceived. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I mean, I do. I guess who's between... Okay, so if we were to take 100T and FaZe and OpTic, between the three of them, who's closer to taking things to the next level? Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's always levels to this shit, man. There's always phases and levels and trends, and to go with trends. But then there's also, while all that's sort of being molded and it just continues on, right? It's like, how do you do things that are like kind of on the next level outside of the box, but still attaching yourself to this nonstop, trendy, next level sort of path? Who do you guys, in your opinion, is closer to all that? Is it FaZe? Is it 100T? I mean, who's closer in the sense of like who's equipped, who's maybe financially equipped, who's from a creative standpoint, talent standpoint, who's equipped? I'd be curious, man. What's your guys's, if you follow esports and organizations and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Decimator, thank you for the $100 donation. When does the gun show start? It's already started.
To which I asked that same question to all of you guys on Twitter. For now, it seems that a lot of the replies are either 100 Thieves and FaZe. All of this coming around news where OpTic, obviously, all three of these are in such different boats. I don't even want to talk too much about them because they're in such different situations. The most overlap between those three certainly comes between FaZe Clan and 100 Thieves. OpTic, a completely separate boat because they're only currently in technically one esport, only have one roster, and are in the what seems to be in the moves of leaving NRG. And could they actually expand into other esports? Who knows the kind of moves that OpTic could make. But for now, certainly I think it's fair to say FaZe Clan, 100 Thieves have a lot more financial backing, a lot more financial ties than OpTic currently does. And so, yeah, it's interesting to see. Doc goes on to talk about street cred, which I agree. My girlfriend, and you guys can call me a liar if you want, because some of you probably think I don't have a girlfriend, and that's a-okay. Every time she leaves with a FaZe hoodie or a 100 Thieves hoodie, she actually has been approached by randoms. That could be because she's a girl, but there is a lot of there's weight to the fact that FaZe Clan especially has a lot of street cred. Usually when I've been walked up to, I'm wearing something of FaZe.
It seems like FaZe is like this street credibility, street level credibility organization, right? That like kind of all the cool people really want to be a part of, you know? I mean, shit, that's the reason why they're signing celebrities and athletes, young athletes. And I mean, FaZe is kind of a sick organization, man. Shit, if I was like a 16, 17-year-old kid, athlete, I mean, granted, I'm in my mid-20s. I'm not too far off, but I would look at FaZe like, man, that's kind of a nice little team they got going on over there. 100 Thieves. I like 100 Thieves. I like 100 Thieves. I think they're like they're all like young, but they're taking like the mature high production approach to it. You know, like this is the professional approach that you can take. That's how I look at 100 Thieves. And then OpTic, I don't know. Like I don't know. I mean, we'll soon find out, right? It'll be interesting. They're like in the middle. They're like the hybrid between FaZe and 100 Thieves in terms of like. I think the one thing that FaZe has that if I were to like, let me just go back to the FaZe and 100 Thieves comparison. I think what FaZe has that I don't think 100 Thieves has. Again, this is me just analyzing it because I think both are doing a fantastic job. I mean, shit, 100 Thieves is... I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I'm locked into the conversation. But I think what 100 Thieves has been doing just in such a short amount of time is just... it's incredible, right? And they're doing it right. And they're taking... And I think, you know, they got a good... I think they got good people at the top running the show. And being aware of trends and... especially in the kind of the VC world. And anyways,
and that's not to say that there aren't other brands that I love wearing in public. I'm wearing Team Secret right now. I'm wearing FaZe shorts. I've worn Liquids collections all the time, Cloud9 gear, and I have been recognized. I guess, you know, I'm not recognized that much in the first place, right? But I'm talking about randoms who come up to you, maybe not even know who you are. I mean, my girlfriend was wearing a FaZe hoodie, and a random kid approached her and said FaZe up, and she had no idea what to do. But it happened, right? So it is cool to discuss, you know, how all of these organizations do defer. And some of them, which Doc goes on to say, he thinks that FaZe kind of just, and I think he's right, they are whoever they want to be. They don't have to follow anyone. They don't really give a frick, right? That's kind of the atmosphere of FaZe. They don't care what you think. They just are who they want to be.
But I think what FaZe has that 100 Thieves doesn't, or FaZe, or what I think what FaZe doesn't have to. How should I label this? FaZe doesn't have to go out and try to be like someone. Like they're not trying to be like anybody else. I think 100 Thieves sometimes wants to like. They see FaZe and then they kind of want to be like FaZe a little bit. I don't know, man. Does that make sense? Like, but there's, I mean, it's not like a bad thing. I feel like FaZe is not trying to be like anyone. I think they just kind of do what they want to do. And they just roll. And I think there's inspiration from that, which I think 100 Thieves grabs a little bit of and pulls it with them in what they're trying to do. That's a better way of saying it. God. One of the things I've always struggled with was articulating my thoughts, man. But boy, oh boy, I could draw a map. I really could.
And I think an underrated clip out there that I immediately thought about was, remember Hastro and Courage? We had a video on this when they went back and forth. Doc's impersonation of Courage reminded me just of that. Obviously, he's joking and they're friends, all right? I feel like I need to make that clear.
Courage is here. Oh, shit. Courage is like, fucking get Matt on the fucking phone. Get him on the fucking phone. What is this guy fucking? You hearing this, Doc? Hey, Matt. Matt, bro, Matt, you hearing this guy? He's fucking saying we're trying to be like FaZe. Bro. Fucking, yeah, I'll take a truly. Well, come over to my room. Pineapple. Yeah.
And then he had some other things to say as well.
I never just sit and talk. I mean, the moment I talk about something, it's like a topic that might be like, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 and then it's cut, and then little Jakey Poo, Sucky Lucky Pooh Bear. Sorry, we'll cut it up, and then we'll put it on his thumbnail. Doc ripping into 100 Thieves. I mean, it's the first time we're having a conversation. I can't just be like heads down going boom, 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 peak.
To which my cameraman, our camera guy here, has now made me a new Twitter header because I am Jake Lucky Sucky Pooh Bear, whatever the frick he said. Very lastly, he makes a few notes on OpTic, which I thought were hilarious as well.
I guess that all that leads to all this talk of OpTic and Hex and buying out OpTic from Energy. And what is Hex going to do? What's the plan? He's got his he's got his weed company. Is he going to work that into the OpTic brand? I mean, I don't know. Join OpTic and get an unlimited supply of marijuana. Oh, come on, Hex. Sign me up. No, but it'll be interesting to see how that one, how that evolves as well. David Cavazos, thank you for the $9.99 in Super Chat. How about a little basketball knowledge for my son Denley?
And this is why I need more top streamers to talk about this kind of stuff. I would love to have other streamers, even some Twitch streamers, talk about these things because it's fun to see perspective, especially if you go back and watch Doc's stream in the chat. You see where all the people lie as well. And when you're going to talk about 100 Thieves and FaZe Clan and OpTic, if you want to throw other brands in there as well, you're of course going to have so many fans with their opinions thinking that their organization is the best, whilst other people might not think that way. So it's always great to discuss this. That is why I titled this video Doc Talks instead of Doc Rips into 100 Thieves or whatever, because I would never do that ever. Until next time though, what do you guys think about this one? Which of these three organizations do you think is going to push things to the next level, and which of these three organizations would Doc possibly, you know, have a thing with in the future? I don't know what Doc has been teasing. He's been teasing a big thing coming soon around the same time where OpTic is going to leave NRG, but it doesn't, I don't know. I don't freaking know what's going on. All right. So take a big old swig of coffee and water, and I'll catch you back here next time. All right. Take care.